missions, but obviously 12 hours per time you log on, whatever. So, we train players. Favored by some, disliked by others, despised by, again, others. Um, Overall, just a cool group of people. Um, the main reason why I even joined in the first place was, I'm not gonna lie, it was because Escalation was coming out. And for the longest time, I was just kind of playing by myself or playing with a small group of people. It would cause me to play on different factions and whatnot. But when they came out with like the merit system and like the A7, I started playing Vanu more. Even more so when Escalation came out. So kind of highly impacted on efforts, capturing places, how much you actually play. That kind of stuff actually started getting more rewarding. Because before Escalation, it was just kind of like, hey, what faction do you feel like playing and helping out with minor effects of victory? I've played on other factions. I have a good amount of hours sunken into everywhere. Um, Nah, but the reason why I was wet pea of all outfits, like why not join this or that, it wasn't because of anyone actually. I joined it around the time that Contraband Joe, or Killaclips, depending on which way it is, he was just creating it, and I, recognize his player tag. He's just one of those players that when you're playing the game for a bunch of years, you're like, oh, it's that person. You see him often, a bunch. Um, sometimes you know when you can get along with someone just by playing with them, even if you're not in the same squad chat, stuff like that. This is more of just a recording more than a actual stream. Don't know if I'll actually be playing or not. Overall, I'm surprised and happy what happened with We Train players. From like backstory, coming from PC, when I first started playing, I played with DAP or Da Party Poopers, and everyone hated it because it was a Zerg fit, and in a lot of ways it really was that. It was just a place where people spammed invites to, hey, join this. It would have a lot of players, and people just joined it in. People didn't like the leaders because they said they were lazy, despite, that was quite honestly the only good aspect of DAP was the fact that you had people willing to, guide and have fun with others. And I played a bunch. Like back in 2014, I started playing, and I did a bunch more in 2015. And you'd have players come online, come and go. When I first started playing, I knew I wasn't the type of person you'd want to hear over the microphone right away. So I kind of just waited, saw on the flow and how things happened before I actually started talking. And over time, I got reputation, gained trust in that outfit, and, over there's actually more ways of promoting people in outfits. You can actually diverse, like, the permissions and whatnot. A lot more elaborate, even before Escalation came out, at least compared to PlayStation. So, I just keep playing, kind of doing my own thing. Some people got to recognize me, and like, hey, it's Crazy Hank or Jag, or depending on when I changed my name or not. Just do stuff, have a good time. I was running on like a potato laptop. It was never anything high speed. So I tried out. The main reason why I even got a PlayStation was because of PlanetSide. And at the time I was kind of giving up on saving up for a computer at the time. And hey, Bloodborne also looked cool. So PlanetSide was the first game I installed on the PlayStation. It was interesting getting into it, seeing on how like the different culture dynamics between PC and PlayStation. At one point I tried to switch back to PC, and then everyone who I was playing with just kind of disappeared. Like I was only gone for like a few months, but it's just completely changed. So at that point, I knew it's just kind of like, yeah, people come and go. So at that point, I knew it was like, oh, it's kind of just making. It's more about adding to an outfit than it is to
I started on Potato Talk 2 LOL.
the individual
was the
player.
first game I got on PS4.
Cannot hear that or check that in a moment. I'm just doing this for the record. So I'd just be playing a bunch on PlayStation, and I'd try to come back to PC. Some people would remember me. There's definitely a handful of people where if I were to log on to PC and they saw that I was online, they would freak out and say, "Hey man, how's it going?" But I know that there's a good chance that if I log on, they probably haven't touched the game in a while. People come and go. You have to do things.
Was nigh impossible.
You know, it's just at the time, even when I tried switching back to PC, I was still kind of doing my own thing. I wasn't really part of an outfit. Yeah, sure, I'd run an outfit tag because, you know, I'd just be hanging out with friends in their own group. It was never really permanent in anything. At that point, I was kind of getting bored of just going back into the game, playing. I didn't want to, because, you know, obviously everyone wants to become better at the game. You don't want to just become known as a tryhard. Some people do. Some people wear that name tag well. You know, I like the attention. I don't want to be an attention whore. I just like to know that I can entertain and show people a good time. Make a good name for myself and whoever I associate myself with. And back to Wet P, Kill Eclipse. It's just a name tag that I saw over the years. And for one thing, never saw any kind of drama go on in the faction chat, the times that I did pay attention. For the longest while, I just disabled voice chat in PlanetSide because I didn't exactly have a group to play with, and it was always just PlayStation chat or nothing. But when they said Escalation was pulling around the corner soon, I decided, hey, you know what, I don't want to be part of this constructed. I saw AT&T and thought, no, they're like a major. It looks like they're established. They have things set in stone, and I can just tell by, you know, dynamics. It wasn't exactly my kind of not my kind of gig. I didn't want to keep switching between factions because I was noticing more and more players coming and going, and sometimes the players coming back would make like a huge impact. I remember I once tried to join Task Force, and basically was turned down because my KD wasn't high enough. That or they just didn't like me. Then again, wouldn't know what that would be for, as I wasn't really vocal in the community at all. I've tried. Oh yeah, I did make my own outfit on PC once. It was a TR outfit, and it was really hilarious. We went from 2 to 34 people in the span of a weekend. And then after that weekend, it just hit the ground. Didn't last too long, but it was a good time. Never try to make my own outfit on PlayStation. Everyone's kind of already doing their own thing. Communication is hard enough as it is with the average person. So it's just kind of like let them be whoever they want at that point. As for Wet P, again, it was just his name tag. So it was like, hey, why not? And, you know, they were talking about we're eventually going to need some officers. And I'm like, hey, you know what? Why not put myself out there? I've been playing this game for long enough. I have hundreds of hours of footage proving that I can, if I can put in the time, I can make dozens of others have a good time as well. And you know what? Why not have a fitting tag? We train players.
and I didn't exactly want to do all the running. And obviously Joe is passionate enough, he wants to keep that going. Obviously we don't see eye to eye, and there's a lot of cases that I'd prefer to yell at him, and there's a lot of cases he'd do the same, and I know that for a fact. I know it's a stick up his ass because, you know, ADHD and all. I don't... Yeah, a note for everyone else watching. Just because I don't verbally respond does not mean I don't hear you. There will be cases where I don't hear you, but still. It's just another thing. That I should bring up and said that. PlanetSide was kind of how I got my social interaction, you know? Didn't grow up in the brightest of communities. And by that I mean at least a couple dozen arrests. A few times we had, at least once a month, a school would go into lockdown and they'd have to bring in dogs to check somebody. And like, for somewhere out in the middle of fuck all, it was a really nasty place. And me, obviously, not exactly on the luckier side of things. So even back in 2014, I just saw PlanetSide 2 as a way of interaction. So it was nice. Everyone's kind of doing the same thing. This game is very niche, so if you're playing it with someone, then there's a good chance they have similar interests. And it was over the years on PC that it kind of like, you know, helped me develop and whatnot. So I do owe a lot to the community. It's just upsetting because a lot of people who I'm directly thanking are people who are kind of long gone at this point. I remember at one point if I had money at the time, but I didn't, I was still too young to even get a job. I was going to support a friend of mine that I made on PC with an engineering project he was doing. And, you know, just talking about it, like, interests, like, it was shocking. The fact that you can have a conversation with someone outside of a game with someone you met in a video game. It's just something that was kind of touching to me, kind of. And it's just like a note to find that you did find a good community. And, yeah, I'm not going to say I have gotten a bit more irritable in the past few months in terms of platoon leading and whatnot. I can only blame that on current events. Who knows? If the bigger stick appears on my ass, then, you know, that's to be judged. Players on... never really going to see a lot of people from PC again. I know a few people are still constantly playing. I know the main person who taught me how to do platoon leading is still playing. In fact, he was the one who created, I'm not sure if he created, but Wanter on PC as a player. And even though that outfit is long abandoned now, he's still just kind of sitting there and doing his own thing. He constantly advocates the community, we need better tools for leadership and stuff and whatnot. In some cases, he's just the equivalent of someone just rambling on, but he'd make good points here and there. He taught me the do's and don'ts of platoon leading, and at one point on PC during a huge argument between the outfit leaders, I made a remark saying, hey, we should do that, and someone tried to rant off on me, only for him to step in and said, you know, in comparison to you fucks, Hank is like one of the more established platoon leaders on the faction. And at that point, like, I was just a young teenager at that point. I'm just thinking, huh. So this is what reputation is. It was also at that point I realized that while I can do good stuff, I can easily make a bad name for myself. So, yes, I can be petty at times. You can hear me, you know, talk kind of malicious at times, but I never go out of my way. I never outright start things. Everyone deserves a second chance. People who use up that second chance, those need to be smited, though. That being said, WebP, again, more surprised on how it turned out. Still going, still growing. We had a few slips. Within the first month, some dude from TR was spying on us, and he only revealed that until... It was actually hilarious. He revealed that he was a spy after a Colossus attempted to kill our Bastion. Keyword, attempt, because in reality, I forgot if it was if we made them go into hiding or if we blew them up. But the point is, they, like, maybe took out one hard point, but we weren't even on fire at that point. But it was just kind of a dumb choice on that guy's side to admit that. But, you know what, like I said, if people are spying on us, that's just kind of a compliment. We're not here to be a bunch of tactical people. We're not here to rule the world. We're an outfit literally called We Train Players. We're established to just help people out and have fun. And we're not doing it maliciously. No, we're just all having a good old time. So to see people oppose that is complimenting. It also gives us something to do. Because, you know, games do get boring eventually, and the politics of the game, I guess. I guess you can call it that. Would it be diplomacy or would it be politics? I don't know. Ignore it. I've met many interesting players over the year. In the top corner of the screen, you'll see Tendril saying, "Don't worry, VS will save you." I mean, in short, based on what the community said, he can just be a bit of a jackass at times. Apparently, he's gotten banned on multiple occasions for behavior. Overall, I can say, at least in a comparison of PC and PS4, on PC, the people who are established, like, who present themselves as an asshole, are much more blunt with what they do. And in comparison, the people who are out to be, you know, dickbags on PS4 are just more petty. It's kind of like a PC, a dude will come up and punch you in the back of the head, but on PS4, he's just gonna keep, like, tickling your ear with a feather, and then running off until you're not paying attention again. That's kind of the energy I'm feeling. Except for Vessel, he'll literally just drive until he can stick C4 to your vehicle, even if you're not involved. But that's a story for a different time. So it is the holiday season. You know, we got our Christmas tree. I can say all of this was a bit of a surprise from Daybreak. Not the designs, but like just stuff like the music as well. Yeah, let me see if what affects it. Got this little drone with the sleigh bells. And I know because my TV's turned down, maybe it will come up on stream, I don't know. But it's like a toy box playing the theme for PlanetSide. Which is another, like, upsetting comparison. Just because of, like, performance issues, we don't have the same music, we don't have the same files on PC. So it's all different. It's the holiday season, middle of a pandemic, not exactly the brightest of times. I just hopped on to make this little video, just so it's like a little message, a little sit down and talk to everybody. Not all of us are in the bestest positions. I've come to discover recently that while I think I'm in a precarious situation, I'm realizing that, at least compared to some of my friends or things I've been hearing of, I am, in comparison, untouchable, and in most cases I'm not comfortable with that. But obviously it's not like I can go out and help people. No, I still have my own debts to pay off. Quite literally and metaphorically. Over a 5-hour car trip, assuming I'm not going to get snowed in. But yeah, just get your Christmas tree, a soft toy box with all of the music playing. Overall, you know, at the end of the day, just log on. And it's good to know. It's good to be back in the position where I can log on, and people say, "Hey, Hank's online." It's good. and I always make sure I do my best to have the best appearance most of the time. Because if people are going to know me, at least know me as someone who can help people have fun at that point. This outfit is doing pretty amazing. Someone mentioned presents might appear, but I don't know if that's a PC only thing. Like complications and shit. I guess a Merry Christmas to all the outfit mates. And if you're Jewish, Happy Hanukkah. We got a large range of people in the outfit.
Hey guys, this is that guy banning off the chat. If you guys are looking for someone to play
Many
with,
things are different for everybody.
Kind of just fucking around in the middle of the map here.
Yeah, we got Ben here. He's a relaxed person. You got Joe. As far as I can tell, the outfit leader is the oldest person in the entire outfit, and as far as I know, Bobby is the youngest. You know, it's a cool thing. Like, usually in video games, you're like, hey, get this squeaker out of here. But nah, everyone's been waiting for Bobby to come back online. No one knows where the hell he is.
I'd like to play with you sometime in the new year. What's your PSN?
PSN, that I'm on and off highly all the time. So if you're gonna find me, it's if you're going to play with me, it's gonna be out of pure convenience. So there's my name card up there. The last one is an S. But, you know, overall the outfit is going a lot better than it seems. And just kind of wanted to make a video for everyone now, being how I'm going to be more or less off the web for a while. So, from this I do wish everyone Merry Christmas, safe holidays, especially nowadays, both with the massive storms hitting the eastern coast and, you know, huge storm recently just passed over, you know, the eastern coast, northern eastern of America. Obviously, COVID isn't any better. There will be a slight reduction. I mean, now that we have, oh shit. Healthcare workers get the vaccine, so that will reduce within hospital shenanigans. You know, keep the workforce going. But I do wish the entire outfit has a nice, safe holiday. I just kind of make this all to, I don't know, explain myself, give a little thank you to the community. There's a lot of things wrong with the community, but for everything wrong, there's 2 more things I can say that's good about it. But, yeah. Just a last note for some of you. Because I know I'm going to place this into the outfit folder later, just so people can, like, see it and whatnot. Some of you having their hard times and whatnot. It's, depending who you are, I can address one group of this and say without a fact it does get better. I've been there through and through, and without a doubt it does get better. Especially when the struggle is when you're in high school or middle school and you're stuck within the community. Me and I think we hated each other during school, but we both share a mutual friend, and we found ourselves in a Discord call. And we were just kind of talking, and we agreed that the reason why it was so toxic, so tense and aggravating is because at least where I was, everyone that you're going to be going to school with, you meet in like middle school. So you're just stuck with the same group of people for like 4 to 8 years, and you're too young to go wherever you want. You're you're too old to blame it on stress in some cases. So you just have to deal with these people each and every single day. It does get better. It doesn't matter what you do. It's just the moment that you finish up that level of high school. And once you finally get out of town, it will get better. It's going to get harder, without a doubt. It will get harder. But at the end of the day, I can say it will get better. And it is something that should not be ignored at all. Because I know that there's a lot of people. I've heard of a few people like wanting to drop out of high school, and I'm just thinking, no, got so much. Even if it means even if they're not going to college, it doesn't matter. If you can get through high school, it's not going to get any easier, but you'll definitely see on how things become less oppressive, so to say. I guess while I'm here, I can go the extra length and to say it's not weakness to ask for help. Not at all. I myself, I've mentioned this a few times within the tune-ups and whatnot, but I'm actually going into the field of psychology. And for one thing, yeah, sure, it's like I wanted to be a psychiatrist, but that shit requires med school. So I'm just kind of doing the latter of it. But even without professional training, that is something major. It's just fucking high. Just any time before you're 18, you're usually stuck in the same community. And you get these stigmas, you get these stereotypes. You're presented with this way that you should be acting, and a lot of times it kind of just shuts you up. It gets better. It definitely gets better. I know that there's a lot of younger people in the outfit. Not everyone is an established adult or student in college. But despite what you say, despite what you may think, it does get better. And your efforts are more valid once you're out in the world. Yeah, sure, merit is a questionable thing, but once you actually are able to reach out and kind of do what you choose to do, you'll see on how your efforts can impact yourself. It's no longer a, hey, do this, and you could lead up and get to do that. Those things are always terrible. It is always mesmerizing to come up here, because I still remember 14 years ago someone mentioned, oh, what if there was a hub, and someone's like, I'd crash the game. And then in 2016, one of them, let me go right over to it. Someone does a lot of data mining in the files for test servers and
You are one of the
whatnot.
leaders of the outfit that taught us a unique way to have fun. You are a great flaw.
Yeah, no, I see. Our still beyond here now and then, but the leak I was talking about is back in 2016, or was it 2015? Who knows? They leaked this area, although everything was dark, mainly because they haven't edited in the lights, and people are thinking, oh, is this a new continent? Is this the hub we've been looking for? And it's all just kind of a mystery. But it's good to it's good and disappointing to see on how it's been implemented. It's upsetting to see on how. Okay, now you call me an asshole for calling this basic, but at the same time, this exceeds and goes below expectations of someone who started playing in 2014 and seeing the aspirations and the desired expectations of the community. But it's still good to see it put to use. Yeah. You meet players and you see them coming and you go. You got Wanter on PC. He doesn't like to be mentioned, whatever. I think he's a boomer. He kind of just keeps to himself. Think the level of bluntness of Kill Eclipse, except more softly spoken. Kill Eclipse is very sturdy in his statements. When he wants to do something, he means it. He never says anything with hollow words, unless it's like a joke or something. So think him, except a lot more, calmly spoken. Taught me the do's and don'ts of platoon leading. Met a guy named Croup. His username is one of those acronyms. He taught me how to use a Galaxy, in which some of you might have seen that I fly like a fucking jackass, but somehow never crash, except for when I do, but we don't talk about that. Nice girl named Rainbow. I constantly see her online every now and then. As for the people on, there's hundreds of lists. I remember when my college recently opened up a gaming room. They had a gaming club and stuff like that. But if you requested and got access, you can get access to the gaming computers that they would use for their esports team. And I remember hopping online and a dude named Bananas, he's just like, "Hey Hank, what the fuck are you doing?" It was just kind of like a silent, "Hey man, it's been at that point it quite literally been at least 2 years since he's seen me." And it's just this level of surreal that you didn't expect it, because it wasn't the moment I got online. I just stumbled into a squad that he just happened to be in. A lot of people come and go. A lot of nights, you can tell. Some people could tell, like just there for the comfort of a person, just sitting in squad, silent and fine. I remember I was the pilot for someone to get the 30th Valkyrie Araxium ever. I was the pilot for it. He was like, "Yo, Hank, we're doing it tonight, get online now." And I'm like, "On the way." I have it recorded. It's unlisted because he deemed his cry of victory too embarrassing, so that's unlisted. That's in the Shadow Realm that I will forever have. But he got his Araxium for his Valkyrie by shooting a mosquito to death with a Lancer from the rumble seat of a Valkyrie. 30th person, all of PlanetSide to do so. I think that's pretty neat. I've ran into Rel 2 times. One time on the same team, the other time I killed him and he killed me, whatever. Ran into Mukas. He's a clever Frenchman. Also the reason why I got into Light Assault. Mukas is the reason why I know how to do shit like this. You go in, hold sideways, and suddenly can turn your momentum into a drift if you do it right. Here, let me try it again. Let's see. If I hit this right... Well, stuff in the way, but just tips and tricks on how to use jump jokes and whatnot. I won't say his name because I know some people know him, some people hate him. Actually, a good amount of people hate him. But I met someone on PlayStation who okay, at one point I was in a group chat on Kick of all things for PlanetSide, and at one point just randomly in game I get a message saying, "Yo, are you from that group chat?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" Turns out he was a pretty cool player. A lot of people hated him. He was like one of those high skilled players, kept to himself. You know, hung out a bunch. It was a good time. Also met. If you ever run into the player named Sniff Sees All, I've also played with him a bunch. He's a cool guy. Similar to an acquired taste of Clips, that's there. Okay, let me be clear. Sniff and Clips are two completely different people. Very, very different people. But in terms of the aspect of acquired taste, because obviously, like, you first join the squad and you hear Clips yelling out silly stuff, some people might get dissuaded. Same similar energy, just less yelling. And you know, he was a cool guy. Both of them had to go away at one point. One of them actually got, you know, not the best of things happened with him and his family. So at one point he made a new account on his phone, and I just got a message saying, "Hey man, how's it going?" It was just another moment of someone that I met in a video game reaching out outside the game. He just told me all the shit that's happened to him. He's putting his direction forth. Went and got his GED, which is another thing. If for whatever reason you drop out of high school, please, for the love of God, at least get your GED, because you don't understand on how far that will take you. Yeah. I'm happy with this outfit. I don't see any reason for me to stop playing with it anytime soon, at all. You know, until shit hits the fan, but, you know, that's one of the reasons why I was there. I consider myself lucky and very thankful that, you know, Clips promoted me to leader. In all aspects of that, it doesn't change anything. It simply means he trusts me to continue on if something were to happen to them. Which, in some cases, is huge, but in other cases, it's just business as usual. It just means I've been acknowledged for what I can do, and I am proud of that. I know I'm not exactly the best entertainer at all times. Sometimes people like taking bases, but anytime I do get into a groove, all the players in the platoon sees it, get all hands on deck, and overall it's just a good time. So with that, I do wish a Merry Christmas to the outfit of We Train players and anyone else who sees this. We are a welcoming outfit. Our only request is to not be a troll. All of our rules are not written, they're just ingrained in common sense. We have standards, we have some, you know, some differences between what others might think, but at the end of the day, we take everybody. And I can say confidently that if I'm online and if I have platoon lead, unless I say otherwise, I am constantly making sure that everyone is having a good time. You'll constantly hear me asking, who do you want to attack? These are our options. I don't want to seem like I'm dragging people around. I like it when everyone has that say. I like it when people see the favor, the majority favor, knowing that I'm not just brutishly saying, hey guys, let's go all grab butter knives and run to the warp gate. No. It's you gotta know when to be one. Because I've played hundreds of hours, silent, not with a microphone, just following orders, and I can see you don't even need to have a microphone to see on how someone likes you in this game. Just the slight differences. That, and if they're holding still, aiming at your head, then that's a clear indicator. But, you know, that's besides the point. I think overall that's all I got to say. I should really get back to packing, making sure I am prepared for this multi-hour drive and whatnot. So I wish we trained players in the community of PlanetSide a Merry Christmas, safe travels, and safe holidays. And that's all I got. See you guys.